Welcome back to Pop Cult Podcast. I am Alice, and I have one of my favorite people ever, Laura Scarborough here.
Oh, here we
Yay!
go.
Yes, thank you.
Come here. You're welcome. Laura Scarborough and sound design. Yeah.
Yes. I was talking to Kim about putting a clap in at some point because I'm always going, yay!
Oh, yeah. You could add some effects in post. That's a cool idea.
Yes,
Hmm.
definitely. So the
Awesome.
first question I have is, what are the beginnings of your musical journey?
Well, let's see. My mom always dabbled in music.
Mm-hmm.
She had an acoustic guitar. She had a little Casio synthesizer, and we always had a piano in the house. And she loved to play music and was always kind of dabbling and tinkering with things. So she taught me first, and I remember we learned. I don't know if my piano's on. This one. And some people might recognize that's like a Bach prelude in C, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like one of these classic beginner pieces that people tend to learn.
Yeah.
And so that was the first piece actually I ever learned, and she taught me, but I could only make it through the first page. I don't think I ever. I mean, eventually I did learn it, but I was really young at the time, so I was maybe 8 or so, 7 or 8. And then she put me into piano lessons when I was about 9 or 10. And I studied with more of a pop music teacher, learning the hits of the day. It's going to really date me though if I name some of these, but it was like I like Chariots of Fire and what was another one? like um Axel F. You know that one?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, I learned. So I'm like, yeah, okay, it was the 80s. So I was learning some pop songs, and my mom, she's Swiss German and really into, I don't know, order and precision. And I
Mhm.
think she noticed that my playing was a bit sloppy because I was just learning pop stuff, kind of, like kind of probably the way people learn on YouTube today, just kind of going at it, sort of, not really learning classical technique. And she
Mhm.
was like, nope, we're not doing this. And she looked for another teacher for me because she felt it was really important that I learn classical playing. So I shifted directions and got another teacher that was much more classically driven. And that began my classical piano journey, which was kind of the biggest part of my training as I was like maybe from 11 to 18 or so. And I would enter, yeah, piano competitions. I really excelled at like Chopin and like things that were, I don't know, more expressive. Like I always really liked the more romantic styles and just the expressive, you know, kind of compositions and playing. And then I got into college, but I went into college not as a music major. I
Mhm.
didn't think I was going to go into a career in music. I was never someone who grew up like some people really, they're 5 years old and they're like, I'm going to be a drummer
Yeah.
and this is my identity. This is
Yeah.
what I am, you know? And I was never that way. Like music was just something like a thing I did, but I liked lots of creative stuff. And so I thought, I would go into advertising because I thought advertising is like creative. You have to come up with
Yes.
ideas and campaigns. And I went to the University of Texas, kind of getting into my first advertising class, and absolutely hated it because it was manipulation. I basically
Yeah.
saw, like, wow, advertising is lying and manipulating people,
Yeah.
and it's bullshit. And so I actually flunked out. Like, I was like, I can't do this. Like, and so I was really lost. I did not know what to do with my life. Like I was flunking out, I was partying. I, had moved to Austin on my own. You know, it's like when you move away from home for the first
Hmm.
time and you're just like, I'm free, I'm
Yeah.
wild. I really bombed. And so I left the UT, basically flunking out my first year. And then I went to Austin Community College, and that's where I just, smaller classes, a little more easy, loving environment. And yeah, got into creative writing a bit. And I actually even got published. Like the teacher came out and found me, like, Laura, can we use your descriptive writing paper for our textbook next year?
Oh,
I was
that's
like, okay,
awesome.
cool. And so I never got a copy of it, but I am a published, whatever. One of my essays is published in that textbook, the English writing textbook. But during that year at community college, I was like, okay, I literally don't know what to do with my life. What have I always done in my life? Well, I've always played piano. I guess I'll go to school for music. Like it was literally like shrug. I don't know what else
I
to do.
suppose.
So I found a teacher, like a grad student, to just kind of get me coaching, like, because I hadn't played in maybe 2, 3 years, being more serious about the
Yeah.
classical chops. So she kind of helped bring me to speed. I also studied with this incredible Hungarian pianist in Waco. Like I would drive up for these lessons to get trained by her and just prepare for this audition. And then I auditioned into UT Music School, and they loved me. And then they offered me a scholarship. Like they actually gave me money
Oh,
for
that's
that I wasn't
awesome.
even asking for. I was like, okay. And it's like sometimes you need these affirmations, like, okay, we see your talent. Like, and hey,
Hmm.
Laura, you need to see your talent, and maybe this is something you need to explore. So then my training kind of moved from doing some classical, piano performance stuff again, but also heavy into pedagogy, the teaching
Hmm.
of piano. And I got a
Yeah.
minor also in educational psychology because I knew that teaching was the direction I wanted to go in, and that would be
Hmm.
practical. So I studied psychology and studied, the art of teaching. But during that time in Austin, my boyfriend was a drummer. And I
Yeah.
started going to a lot of shows. And I kind of went from being sort of a groupie, like someone like, I'm a groupie, like I go to shows and this is so fun. But I play classical piano on the side, but I'm not a musician like that would ever be in a
Yeah.
band, like I was so kind of shy and insecure about kind of stepping into the world of improvisation and, playing music with others. So I just had in Austin, there's so many wonderful musicians, and people are very kind and nice and encouraging. And I just had some friends. And also, my boyfriend at the time was like, let's jam. I was like, okay, let's jam. And there's a place in Austin called Rock and Roll Rentals where you can rent studio gear. And I rented a 4-track cassette player. And that was really the start of my kind of songwriting journey because I was too shy to play in front of anyone, but I would
Yeah.
start recording, and with the 4-track and the cassette player, I could, layer piano and then layer my voice and add effects. And I just started building confidence through recording, and then confidence through just playing piano with drums, and just really locking into the rhythmic side of just playing and being free and improvising in that respect. So that kind of, you know, that's at least the beginning of Laura Scarborough origin, I
Yes.
guess.
It's a long
From the,
origin, but that's good.
it's a long life, Alice. I mean, that only got me through my 20s, but we can, there were lots of other curves on the way, but yeah.
I have to say some of the earlier stuff, like the Project Live, is one of my favorite things to go back to 'cause it's more jazzy, that one. And
Yeah,
I do like some jazz, and
me
I love how
too.
you sing on that one because it's definitely different to what you do now.
Yeah, I should revisit that. Yeah, more playful and free with the voice. And a lot
Yeah.
of my vocal exploration came from singing jazz. And those were my big influences. Like I loved Billie Holiday, well, still love, but like Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Nina
Hmm.
Simone, Eartha Kitt,
Oh
Julie
yeah.
London, like they would how they would play with their voice, and you can just, kind of make these characters. Or I
Yeah.
just feel like jazz is this like very playful way, like the jazz singers, the torch songs, like that's my kind of like my interest in jazz. Of course, I listen
Yeah.
to a lot of Miles Davis and John Coltrane, and and some Thelonious Monk, and some of the piano greats too. But the jazz singers really were so inspiring, and it was so fun to
Yeah.
learn a lot of those tunes. I used to sing a lot of standards and do like a 3 hour gig at coffee shops and restaurants and just standards, playing and singing. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done that, but I love the jazz stuff. That's our
You should.
doorbell.
Uh-oh. It's okay.
You're gonna have to edit this out. Stand by.
Okay.
Gotcha. Sorry, Alice. Christmas gift.
Okay. So we were just talking about some of your jazzy influences. What are some other influences from maybe other genres that influence what you do?
Yeah. Um, I really like psychedelic music, I guess.
Mhm.
One of my heavy rotation records was Maggot Brain by Funkadelic,
Oh,
which has this super long, amazing guitar like journey with Eddie
yeah.
Hazel at the beginning. It's like that was in heavy rotation. In any sort of psychedelic, like again, Miles Davis, like some of the stuff. There's a record called Big Fun. It's like it's jazz, but it's also very psychedelic. And then
Hmm.
certainly like Pink Floyd. Yeah, like another big influence is Jeff Buckley because he just master songwriter, incredible vocalist. And then as it started to come up, I really loved the early electronic music like Massive Attack,
Hmm.
Tricky, Bjork. Oh my gosh, like I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
I can't give her enough credit. Like even when I was a senior in high school, my my presentation, I had to do a music presentation on like an artist, and I did the sugar cubes because at the time like that was so fresh, and
Yeah.
like I had the sugar cubes on because I was just like I love this. And so I definitely followed a lot of Bjork, and again like with that playfulness with the voice or using effects or just kind of thinking out of the box, keyboard sounds, sonic sounds, that just I don't know, that kind of make it more interesting. I've never been a huge fan of guitar music, even though guitar is so popular. Like I've come to appreciate guitar much more in my later life, but I was always like,
Yes.
I want keyboard sounds, I want synthesizer sounds, I want weird glitchy, mechanical sounds or, noises that you don't know what they are. I just think it's more interesting to the ear.
I agree. As you know, I like some weird
Oh,
stuff
and Nine
too.
Inch Nails. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, and I got yeah. I mean, also heavy in rotation in my high school years too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you're a big jelly that I got to see them over the
I
summer.
am. I haven't seen them, and you might be jelly that I got to see them like in '99,
In the
like in a
heyday.
warehouse,
Yeah.
like in a freaking weird warehouse, and it was just like two weird strip lights and like a fog machine. It was so lo-fi. There was maybe like 150
Yeah.
people there, but it was so fresh. I mean, it was, yeah, maybe it was like 98. No, 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 no. I'm so sorry. This was like 90. This was like when I was in high, yeah, 91 or so. I don't know. It was way, way back. Yeah,
Yeah.
early, early.
I'm jealous of my dad because he got to see them on the Bowie tour that they did with David Bowie.
Oh,
And I love David
wow.
Bowie.
Amazing. I never got to see him.
I'm so sad about that too.
Yeah.
But we digress. Um, you've worked on a lot of projects. What has been one that has been your favorite to work on?
Hmm.
You've
I,
done a lot, I know.
well, I guess you like different things for different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly the last 8 years of my life has been my favorite project I've ever been a part of, and that is touring with Ghost and getting to travel the world
Yeah.
and see people light up and sing all the words to every song that's played on stage and, just be a part of something that's really special and really powerful. It's an honor. I mean, what can I say? I mean, that's for sure the
Yeah.
best thing I've done. Um, and then yeah, but I don't know. I like so much different kind of music, Alice. It's like, and I really just want to work with people that I like.
Hmm.
So, and it's yeah, and I have to like the music as well, of course,
Yeah.
and I have to like the people. So, if those elements come together, I'll do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. You have to be happy with what you're doing and who you're doing it with for it to work really well. So I totally get
100%.
that.
Yeah.
You do hula hooping too. I know you kind of did talk about it on Patreon a while ago, how you came about that. But for those who may not know, how did hooping come into your life?
Mm. Oh, hula hooping changed my life straight up. I was playing a gig, and my friend Gabby and her friend, they had just moved from Atlanta. They were part of the circus community, and they
Mhm.
were hula hooping while we were playing. I was playing vibraphone on this gig, and I was playing and just like watching them the whole time. Like, oh my God, that looks so fun.
Yeah.
And because it's such a fun thing to dance with, especially with live music. And after the gig, I was like, "Let me try, please!" And I was flailing. I couldn't keep it up to save my life. I was just like, and they took
Yeah.
pity on me. They're like, "Wow, Laura, you're really giving it some effort, but you're not having much success. You're not a natural, okay? You're not a natural."
Yeah.
And so I got to kidnap the hoop because I was like, "No way! I want to take this thing home. I want to crack it." I was obsessed. And so the next day, actually, I did crack the waist hooping, and I became completely addicted. It
Yeah.
just, it made me feel so good. It was like I'm getting a massage all over my body. Now these were larger hoops, kind of, like the one you have, so that larger hoops move slower and bigger and easier, and I just kept trying to crack it, and so my hoop journey started about, I guess, 2004 or so. And then I just kept at it. I went to different hula hoop, um, festivals and workshops. And at the time, it was a really big thing. Like different like hoop stars would come touring and like
Mhm.
come do workshops. And I mean, it was a big thing. And I started a company in Austin called Hoop Circle. And I did a lot of outreach, and I would teach classes. I taught people how to make hoops. I would sell hoops, and it just was became this whole side business that I ran for many, many years. And I just loved it because it's just, I love to see people light up and get happy. And it's just, you get there like instantly with a hula hoop. And I
Yes.
keep it in my practice. It stays with me on tour. It's just a big part of my like physical and mental and spiritual well-being, the practice of spin and yeah, hula hoop rhythm.
Yes. I can agree, even though I'm terrible sometimes about being consistent, but I have been doing a lot better with it because I do want to get better at it, and it does make you feel good when you hoop, and it
Mm.
helps keep you in shape and much other things as well, not just weight, but also like if you have tension, it helps with that stuff. As we've talked about before, with hooping.
Yeah, it's powerful because it's one of the few things that can get your heart rate up,
Yeah.
um, low impact cardio, right?
Yes.
So all of a sudden your blood's moving. But what it's also amazing with is that it is lymphatic massage. So some
Hmm.
people actually go to get treatment, like basically where our lymph nodes are, they get it massaged to help kind of release toxins from your system.
Hmm.
And what's incredible with the hoop is like as you are increasing your heart rate, your blood is moving through your body, then you're also giving yourself this lymphatic massage all over your body,
Yeah.
and it drains fluids and drains toxins, and it's just so incredibly powerful that you can get a massage while you work out. I mean,
Yes.
come on, who doesn't want that?
Of course. Yeah, it really is great, and I I particularly like it on my hands and arms because, as you know,
Mhm.
I have carpal tunnel from repetitive motions at work. So, yeah, it does help, especially the hand hoop, and that's why I particularly like hand hooping. But,
Yeah, and also it strengthens, so Alice and I do hoop class together, and yeah, we do a lot of stuff with like working that hoop over the body and just a lot of things to strengthen the back, the
hmm
arms, and yeah, and using different sized hoops, different weights of hoops
hmm
to do different kind of manipulations. So it's just like I love it so much. I mean, yeah, I can't say enough positive things about hooping.
Yes, it's definitely made a positive impact on me, so I recommend you do it if you
Yeah.
want to, and you have to
Yes.
want to do it to do it.
Yeah, and all you need is a hula hoop to start. And that's a bit of the
Yeah.
tricky part because we don't hoop with a child's hoop. You know, you need for adult bodies, you need a larger size. I don't have one to demo. Wasn't prepared for that.
It's okay,
um
neither do I.
yeah, we're not in our hoop space right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, but a larger hoop that comes up at least between your button and your heart, you know, something that kind of stands tall and that has some weight to it. And yeah, it just makes it easier and yeah, better massage and effect. So you have to look for independent makers on Etsy. There are some hula hoop
Yeah.
makers, and there are some hoop companies in America that you can order from, but you just want to go as big as you can
Yes,
to
my
start.
biggest hoop is about as big as me. Not quite, but almost.
Comes up to like here, is
Yeah.
it?
It's pretty big to say the least, but it is easier to hoop with that one
Yeah.
than my mid-sized one.
Hmm. Yeah.
My next thing is we're gonna talk about Stay Wild and what is you kind of talked about it on Patreon ages ago, but what is the origin for that one?
Mm. Yeah, the origin was just getting the sense that a lot of people are spending too much time in isolation and on screens
Mm-hmm.
and indoors, and this kind of epidemic, the loneliness epidemic, you know,
Yeah.
that has been going on that I think was really kicked off with COVID, making it okay for us to isolate, that becoming the new normal. Um, and so the beginning of Stay Wild just kind of starts this like a conversation, you know, just like asking like a young person, you know, like are doom scrolling or like why do you tell yourself things like what do you say to yourself, right? We all
Mm-hmm.
kind of are guilty of negative self-talk,
Yeah.
just just all the stuff, like whether you're young or old, like we're all kind of going through it, and
Mm-hmm.
so the beginning kind of starts with that, and then it sort of turns like, you know if we go outside and take a listen, maybe there's information and ideas that we can take from nature to remember our wild animal self, right? What we
Yeah.
come from, right? We come
Mm-hmm.
from this like carbon matter, and we're not like machines, and we're not built to just be like robots, right, on screens all the time,
Yeah.
right? We are supposed to be creative and be wild and try on things. And I just think like if I need to get out of that maybe a dark headspace, the moment I go outside and like breathe fresh air or like watch the funny birds in my neighborhood or like check out the trees and how they're changing colors or like any of our connection to nature, it just immediately like makes me feel better
Yeah.
and reminds me of like it's going to be okay, and just remember where you come from and stay wild. And then the piece really keeps escalating into just kind of a fun journey, and not only like just the idea of play, and even go and it reminds me of going back to those early days of improvising, when I
Mm-hmm.
was breaking out of the classical structure and trying to explore how to play in one kind of key, be simple, be playful, allow musical space for things to happen, don't be in a hurry, right? Like Pink Floyd and like some of those like even jam bands, right? Like you think about like the Grateful Dead or like,
Mm-hmm.
Fish or something. It's like these guys would like jam for like 30 minutes. I
Yeah.
mean, for better or worse, I don't know, 6, 7, I don't know, but it's like, but it's like, like there is a like something that I think as musicians like is really fun to just
Mm-hmm.
go out and be psychedelic and just play. And so that second half, Stay Wild is a 5.5 minute song. It's very indulgently long
Yeah.
because I just wanted to play. And yeah, we're jamming in the same like kind of looping progression for 2.5 minutes, but it's still fun.
I
So,
know it is. And I remember you teasing the Patreon people about it. God, was that like almost almost 2 years ago at this point.
Year and a half
I
ago.
remember
Yeah,
it
I
because
know. It's
you
crazy.
made art cards before. I
Mm-hmm.
can't, they're up here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
but I remember it was stayed in my mind because of the message, and I just the chorus stuck with me all this time, and I'm like, I want that song on my playlist. I need that. And
No.
then finally, when you were saying you're gonna put it out, I was like, yes,
I
finally.
know. I know. It took so long. It took so incredibly long because I think I cared
Yeah.
so much about it. And it was just a really windy road to get there. I wanted a lot of people on this track.
Hmm.
I knew that I wanted it to be pretty like filled out, not just kind of like a piano vibe, piano vocal
Yeah.
vibe. I wanted it to be a lot more than that. So, yeah, it took a lot of wrangling, yeah, to get it there. But I'm super stoked where it landed.
I am too.
Mm.
And this leads to the next question that is part of Stay Wild. Some people may know, some people may not, but who are some of the interesting people that you had collaborate with you on
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah. Special guests. Yes. Okay. So I'll start with the background vocalist. So Harrison Young was actually the first person I ever introduced the song to,
Hmm.
and he used to live nearby. He doesn't live close by anymore, but um, and he's a pianist and singer too. So I played it for him, and he just helped me with playing figuring out where we wanted background vocals to be.
Hmm.
And I really wanted male vocals on this too, because it's like
Yeah.
it's a message for all people, right? It's like stay
Yeah.
wild, like we all want to hear this. And so I wanted that male voice in there. So he's the first person I cut with. And then the other background vocalists, our amazing friend Mad Gallica. We had a trade uh, agreement that I helped her do sound design on her meditation. And so she was like, whenever you need me for something, I was like, okay. So I called in the favor with her, and she just came up with such creative
Yeah.
little harmonization lines. And then she takes this like ripping solo at the end. She also did like a whistling track. Like it was hard to decide like what to use because there was so much great stuff that
Yeah.
she gave to us. But it's so funny. My husband was like, wow, her voice almost sounds like a violin. I was like, yeah, it's almost kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like it feels like an instrument, but she just has this power and this incredible color palette with her voice. She can do so
Yeah.
many things. And she's also just got really creative intuitions. And just some of her harmony ideas were just, yeah, just so wonderful. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so those are the two background vocalists. And then my friend Noah Earl, who's this like ripping violin player that I've done a couple things with. And again, just trying to use the resources in the neighborhood. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
so lucky that Noah is also a neighbor. Like, I'm like, will you come over and play a thing? And so we worked on that in my studio. I recorded him here on his acoustic violin, and I am going to post a video of some of us like in the studio working, like in him, like
Hmm.
figuring out the parts. Cause it's definitely a collaborative thing. It's like when you get in the
Yeah.
room with someone, you can really like, oh, yes, that. Like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, maybe let's do that direction. Or you're able to have more of a dialogue about what the plan is. And so that was really fun working with him. And then I wanted to get bass, and so I asked Cause Sylvan if he would play bass, and he agreed. And so I sent that off to him, and he cut that at his studio in Toronto. And his bass playing on this track, it just, oh my God, it is perfection. Like it's so cool. Like when like the bass is holding that 2.5 minute section that I mentioned
Yeah.
that's just like this looping. He's like, it's the same freaking line, but all of these little subtle fills and things that he did. I mean, we didn't touch it. Like he just freaking nailed it. And I just feel like his bass playing really propels the track forward and has such its own kind of identity and character in it.
Yeah.
And then a modular synthesis, like my friend Joseph Haley, who's in Philadelphia, he does all the like where you plug in all the cables and
Oh, yes.
like all of that kind of synthesizer.
Yeah.
It's like way over my head, but I was hearing that kind of like that driving again, kind of a bit of a techno electro feel that I just thought like that would be so cool to have this pulsing electronic vibe going on. So he laid down a lot of that stuff that also drives that jam section. And and then drummer, yeah, drummer Fred in Austin, yeah, laid down the drums. But I did a lot of the drum programming. So even when
Hmm.
Kaz was working on it, it didn't have live drums on it yet. It only had my programming. So my programming is also a big part of the
Yeah.
construction.
I
I
have to
think that's
say
it.
about Kazi, he does not get enough credit for how talented he is. And then in some ways, he does it to himself because he kind of just stays in his own realm. But at the same time, he is super talented.
He's
And
masterful,
it he
exceptional.
needs more credit. He's just so talented.
He's loved. He's loved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is for sure. I enjoy his solo work. And
Yeah, me too.
speaking of Cosmo, he's supposed to be putting out some new merch today.
I
So
saw
yep.
that.
Well, this will be posted after it's been out, but
Go support Kaz.
yes, go
Buy his
support
stuff,
Cosby.
listen to his music if you haven't listened to it because it's
Yeah,
exceptional. Yeah,
yes, he has a
100%.
great voice and he's just amazing.
Yeah, understated and masterful. He's
Yeah,
incredible. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. My
Okay.
next thing is still connected to Stay Wild. You made prints for the release, so you're as you talked a little bit, you're a crafty gal. What is like your favorite sort of crafty thing to do? Because you've done a lot, and I have a lot of your collages, as some may know.
Yeah, collages, it's just something I grew up doing with my mom.
Yeah.
My mom is a very crafty lady. We had a sewing room. She made me my like recital dresses for my piano
Oh,
contests and stuff. And when I was really little, we had matching outfits. And
oh,
my mom is a brilliant oil painter. Yeah, I'm not at her house. Like when I'm in Texas, I'm at her house and I can show off her artwork. But she she's incredibly crafty, and I think she really just instilled the desire just in me to just always be creative, just always be making. And whether that's making at the piano or making songs or making collages or making food or making sculptures, or we would go to the
yeah.
beach and not just be at the beach. Like she would bring the plaster pairs, like where we collect seashells, and then we pour the thing and then make these like little concrete like
I
art
know what you're talking
pieces,
about. Yeah.
like I mean she just did such an incredible job like raising us to be creatives, and
Mm.
so collage for me was just an accessible art form because
Yes.
like you can kind of look at things like, oh, that would be cool cut out mixed with this. Like it's a way to mash up
Hmm.
colors and ideas. And I don't think it's as high skill, highly as skilled as you have to be an
Yeah.
illustrator because I was just never really drawn to illustrating or drawing. I
Hmm.
like painting a little bit and again watching my mom, but I just didn't have, I don't know, maybe the patience, and I loved like ripping paper or cutting paper and just mashing things up. And that was just always the medium I like to work in from growing up. So collage is definitely my jam, and jelly prints, how did I discover jelly prints? Like it's because I saw people like collage artists a lot of times will do jelly prints from magazines. So
Yeah.
high fashion magazines like Vogue and stuff, like you can rip the page out and then you get your jelly plate and then cover it with paint and then those can transfer. So I think I stumbled into it from kind of being in the collage world because I do follow some collage creators on Instagram, and so it kind of directed me. And then I first saw jelly prints with that. I was like, oh, that would be so fun. And then started to dive in with a lot of failure because what happens with magazines, they're harder to pull. It depends on the ink.
Yeah.
They're really fussy. And so I just started like trying to learn and train, and and get more tips from creators online. And it turns out a lot of them will use their own laser printer, because with laser printed paper, you can create whatever you want, print it, and then it's more effective with the jelly plate. So what's nice about that is then you can kind of get your own designs. Like then you're not like pulling something that's probably copyrighted from a magazine,
Yeah.
printing it, and then what, so you can create your own kind of design, which is what I did with the Stay Wild print. Let me see, I still have some
There
on my
you go.
table.
Yes.
So this was a design, a creator, like what's on the shirt. Here, I'll show that real quick too. So on the t-shirt, it has the whole flower, right? So this is something a designer made, right? It has all the
Yes.
roses and everything. But I brought this into Photoshop and then pulled out the roses and just kept the birds and one of the flowers. And then I added, this is Bach music
Hmm.
that's there. So I just created kind of my own design in Photoshop and then printed on laser with a laser printer. And then I started going in with a jelly print and then painted and then added everything to it. So it's just, I think jelly prints is a nice way like to lean in kind of from the collage world. And it's a nice match. It's a good
Yes.
cousin. It's a friendly cousin to collage.
And you could always mash them together too, as
And I
well.
probably will 100% because I have a lot of like wacky prints that are just like maybe a cool background texture.
Hmm.
And it's like maybe not the most successful like jelly print pull, but that can be a great background for something that then you cut something out and collage
Yeah.
onto that. So yeah, that is definitely something I'm playing with as well.
And as of right now of recording this, there are still some prints available, yes?
Yes, there are. There
Okay.
are. Yes, there
Go
are
to
still some
Bandcamp. That's where you
available.
can find Laura's stuff.
They are limited. I did make a lot of them because I was just enjoying the process so much
Yeah.
and I just felt like I just kept getting better and better. And so I just kept going. But yes, there are still some left. So
Yes. Get them while
yeah.
you can, people.
Yeah. And the shirts and stuff that stuff will be up there, but the
Yes.
prints are limited editions. So when they're
Yes.
gone, they're gone. And then I'll have to
I
make something else.
Yes. And I've been the crazy person buying every time you put up art. So
Number one fan, Alice. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you for supporting.
of course, you have to support smaller artists. I am for that 100% because a lot of smaller artists don't have the backing that a bigger artist does. So,
It's so expensive to produce music, like I
yeah.
have to pay, like I do my best to pay musicians or do trades. I pay the engineer, you have to pay for mixing, you have to pay for mastering. If you are going to get, I'm not probably pressing vinyl again for a long time, but yeah, it's expensive to just
Yeah.
even release a digital track and then you have to distribute it, or maybe you're going to spend money on ads or try to promote it, or, all the things. And I feel really grateful that on Bandcamp, the funny thing is, Alice, like the best selling things are the collages and the
Yeah.
artwork and so that's a really fun little side hobby for me. Like I'm not a professional artist, but I'm someone who enjoys the craft. So the more that, I'm learning that if I strategize with having an art release that accompanies the song release, then I'm able to pay for the song, and
Yeah.
even just like making the money back, like for Stay Wild, like I'm about even almost, it's like I haven't profited, but I'm at least like out of the red, we're
Yeah.
like, okay, I got, some of the money back for what it costs to put in for this. So I'm super grateful for any people that support on Bandcamp. It just like it helps so 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 much for indie artists. So and thank you for supporting me so much.
Yes. I'd love unique merch, like an art print, say, like the collages and stuff. I don't like a lot of the like mass-produced things. I prefer to have something cool that like someone created. Like I have a drawing somewhere over here that Dylan did, and I love it so much. It's a cute little bat eating a candy heart.
Oh my God, so cute. Yeah, I think, because of this digital age that we're in, I think we're coming to appreciate things that are touched even
Yeah.
more, that there's been hands on something
Yeah.
rather than like you could make a design and then go digital, print them on canvas, right?
Hmm.
But it's not the same as something that really had hands on or paint on or,
Yeah.
marker on. It just has more energy inside of it.
Yeah, and I think the way I think of it is in some way I get a piece of that artist because it's something they created and nobody else has that exact
Exact
thing.
one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Like even with
Yeah.
these, they're similar, but they're not, one is like the other. I mean, they all have these little, yeah, little different, yeah, like splays of how the color went or how strong that black ink kind of went into the paper. It's all kind of variations of it. And
Yes.
it's just
And
so
I'm excited to
fun.
get my stuff
I
whenever that
know.
is. I know the holidays is gonna make it
Okay,
so
I'm
hard.
between you and me, I'm a little
It's okay.
behind. I'm a little behind. I had to write another song, Alice, because I'm still in that 8 week,
Yes. No, it's okay.
the
I
never ending
understand because
thing.
and it's the holidays too,
Yeah,
so everything is just wild. No
I
pun intended.
know. Totally. I know. It's just so busy. It is wild. It is wild. You really feel the countdown, right? It's just like we're about to be in a new year. How are you feeling about a new year? Like New Year's for me are very like exciting. It's like fresh start. Do you
It's
do you feel
exciting
that?
for sure. Yeah, and I feel the same way. It's a fresh start and a new adventure because I love traveling. I love going to unique places, going to concerts, just going wherever I can that is most accessible to me. And even sometimes I go places that isn't really that accessible, but I go
Yeah.
because I want to see things because you
No.
only live once, and if you don't get to
Yeah.
do it now, you'll never get to do it.
It's a really good reminder. Yeah.
Um, I like to ask everybody who I've interviewed who's played with Ghost what their favorite song is to play live or songs because you can have multiple.
Mm. To play live.
Yes,
To play live. Oh, God.
there's so many.
I think right now, Peacefield. And that's probably a very not many people are going to say that, but it's the opening of the show,
Hmm.
Peacefields, and it just has this awesome synthesizer bit that I just freaking love. And it's
Yeah.
challenging. It took me a long time to learn it and to crack it. It's a really hard, it's a very technical keyboard situation for me. And it's the first song. So it's just like the adrenaline, super hot. You're coming out of the kabuki drop, like just like, it's just, I think it's the most
Yeah.
exciting to play right now because it's the top of the show and it's like, we're
Hmm.
fucking going now. And it's like very technical for me. And I really have to have my A game together. So it's just like, but it's fun to be challenged, So it's
Yeah.
like you have the adrenaline and excitement of first song, but also like having to maintain the real focus and precision and just peg the parts. So that's a pretty fun one. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one too a lot. It's grown on me a lot. I didn't used to really like that song too much,
Hmm.
but after seeing it live, I'm like, I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
And at my show, we got attacked by the curtain fall. Like the curtain fell
Okay.
on the crowd.
Oh God. Yeah. It's always like a danger moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what's fun. You got to have a little danger.
I was just like, oh, I see everybody. Nope, black.
Oh yeah. And it's so much haze. You're like, I can't
I
see
was like, what is
anything. Like
happening? And then hands are grabbing the curtain to pull it back towards the stage. Just like,
it's
what is happening?
wild.
Okay.
Yeah. It's chaos.
And then
Love
it
it.
finally was like, okay, we're back where we need to be. Oh, jeez. Anyways, um, I did you? I don't remember if you said this on a Patreon or not. The Mummy Dust solo, you were saying you kind of had to make it up, quote unquote, because it in the song that's recorded, it's a computer or something like that.
Yeah, if you ever try to learn the Mummy Dust solo, and I'm sure anyone who's ever attempted to try to learn it,
Yeah.
it's freaking hard. And I think it was constructed, and I don't know that for absolute certain, but it's my gut feeling with hearing it that like a lot of those notes were drawn in like with MIDI. So
Hmm.
you can like as you're playing like parts into the computer, you can also like slice and dice and kind of make wild things happen that might not be as physically able to play, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And obviously the challenge with guitar is that you only have one hand. So
Hmm.
not only are you trying to play the solo that like if you're lucky to have two hands, like maybe you could get close. It's insanely fast and kind of also hard to like hear exactly what's going on. So you have to develop a strategy for
Yeah.
how to be the truest to the intention of what you know the band what Tobias would want for that solo, like he wants it delivered as close to the record as possible,
Yeah.
but how to achieve it. So you do I did have to create a strategy of how to approach that solo. So yes, I've developed that obviously over the last 8 years because I've been playing Mummy Dust every show pretty much for 8 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, and sometimes it's a little wonky. There's some challenges with the mask, depending on what generation we've been in. You know, the
Hmm.
different masks have different ways that you have to see or not see. And so since the majority of my playing is like I'm looking straight on through keyboards, all of a sudden when I do the Mummy Dust solo, I'm like, oh shit, like I can't see in the same way. So I either have to tilt the mask or like come up, figure out what you can see and what you cannot see. And everybody, I'm
Yeah.
sure, deals with this challenge in their own way and figures out the solution of how to see what they need to see. But there are blind spots, and sometimes, yeah, you kind of miss things, or it's one of the challenges of
Yeah, Dylan was
the
talking
gig.
about the heels that the Goulettes wore during Prequel, that like you would get
Hmm.
stuck in the stage when you be walking on
Yeah,
it.
we had these Dylan, we had these kitty heels that were super, super cute, but the heel was exactly the size of the grating. So if
Yeah.
that thing went in, it was like, "Ugh," and you're like, you're trying to like pull it out. So
Yeah.
when I would take Mummy Dust solo, yeah, and our staging was a little different back then. It
Yeah.
wasn't all grating, so thank goodness. But
Yeah.
you would be like, tiptoeing around, like
Yeah, I
keep your
noticed
heels
that.
up, like a little tiptoe out there. Like I don't want to get stuck. Oh God, yeah. But it's all the fun. Like it's fun to have some danger.
Yes. Somebody made a compilation of the different ghouls who've done the Mummy Dust solo.
Hmm.
Um, and they did a couple for uh you and Zach and then Moreau before that, I think. Um, and I think Zach had an interesting way that he did it. It wasn't quite the song, but it was still cool.
Yeah, totally. I bet.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that
everyone.
everybody
You have
kind
to.
of brought their own to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to. Like it's a weird solo. It's a thing, and no one's gonna play it the same way.
Yeah.
We all had to do our best with what we had.
Yeah, and you kind of play it just a teeny bit different every time, but it still sounds great.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I know everybody goes insane during that part because they're like, "Yes, the
Fi-
goulet!"
Finally breaking the barrier.
Yes,
It's
the
nice to get
lioness
out
gets to
front.
come
I,
out.
f- I feel really grateful that I get to have a moment in the spotlight. It's really,
Yeah,
it means a lot to me. It makes the shows really fun. And yeah, you get a lot of adrenaline, you're kind of
hmm,
nervous, and yeah, same kind of
yeah,
things. You don't want to trip. You got to like play the notes. If when I'm getting too excited by the crowd, I mean, it's easy to get distracted because I've been so
yeah,
far back, and then when I can get close to the audience and like see their eyes and just like, well, like their expressions, or just it's a lot
yeah,
to take in, and but then you need to be like, again, working with your mask to try to see what you're doing and not get too distracted by the wildness of the moment.
yes.
It's so
I
fun
talked to a
though.
few people about vision with those masks, and Martin said he would always be like this, looking down when he'd be walking.
Yeah. It's
it cuts off
Yeah.
your peripherals a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah.
And even with it being in the front of your eyes, you have the nose on at least the Perkel ones. That cuts off vision here, so you just have like circles right
Hmm.
here.
Yeah. If you just imagine you're looking like this is what it feels like
Yeah,
for us. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep,
Yes.
totally. I remember when one time that helmet, like I guess this was the Burkel one with the big, our big Goulet head helmet.
Hmm.
Was that when we were on tour with Metallica? I think so. Yeah, it was like 2019, and we had to climb up, like through the Metallica like underworld and get up onto the stage when we were opening. And man, in just some of those, like again, because you don't have the periphery, there was
Yeah.
like this metal bar that I didn't duck under, and it was like, "Gung," and I was like, wow, I'm so glad I have my helmet on. That would have sucked. But then I probably wouldn't have hit it because then I would have seen it. And it's like, all these like stage hazards, And I'm like, oh, got my trusty helmet on. Boing.
Were those masks fragile? Like, could they break
No, they were
easily?
really strong. They're fiberglass. They're pretty rock solid. I think the horn would break off sometimes. I
I
think
was gonna
maybe on
say there's a
pairs.
video of Soto's horn just falling off randomly.
Boing. Yeah.
And he was just like,
What?
what just happened? And I think you were
Yeah.
next to him and you were like,
Oops.
but anyway, you have backups for a reason, so.
Fair enough. Yeah. One horned
Um,
ghoul. Mhm.
crazy stage antics. Some people have made compilations of some of the like mishaps that have happened. Like Papa falling off the stage. That was
Mhm.
kind of funny, but
Yeah, but now there's no phone, so we're in a new era. We're definitely in a
yeah,
new era with that. So honestly, there's kind of a comfort in that. So even if you do something crazy goofy or something goes
it's
sideways,
word
you're
of
like,
mouth
well,
at that point. Yeah.
no one's gonna see it.
I mean, I like it because it shows that nothing is ever perfect.
That's
And
true.
also the phone thing. At first, I was kind of just like, okay, whatever. But then experiencing it, it was like, okay, this was nice because I forgot about my phone the
Yeah.
whole time.
Oh, it's so
I didn't
great.
think about it.
Yeah. It's so wonderful. Yeah. I did enjoy, like, even in the older days, like when we would have, all the random, posts on YouTube. I mean, I like to use it still as a reference sometimes if I'm like trying to improve. I'm always trying to improve my craft or like play as good as I can, or I
Yeah,
want to hear it from the front. And I mean, it's hard through those YouTube videos that people make, like to hear what's going on, but it's still sometimes handy even as a musician to use like that content as a
yeah,
reference to like how did that part go, or like how do we sound on this section or something. But now it's like, well, okay, doesn't exist. Although more Americans
the
break the
gold
law than
bangers will though.
Europeans. I mean, there are some
Yeah,
bootleg stuff out there for sure.
yeah. I
If you
saw
go
it and it
digging.
made me so mad every time I saw it. 'Cause I was like, guys, you just can't respect him. I feel like people don't respect an artist in general because he's not the only one that's done this. They don't respect the person if they do that. That's how I feel about it. Like it's just a simple respect
Yeah,
thing.
it's just following the rules. Like, are you,
Yeah,
like I've always prided myself on being a good girl, right? I don't cheat, I don't steal. Like
yeah,
it's like I try to follow the rules. If this is what's expected of me, I'm gonna honor that, And so
yeah,
yeah, people come in obviously with a second, whatever, with their strategy of how they want to do it, and it's because they want clicks, they want attention too. That's where a lot of
that's
this
what it
stuff
is.
comes from, and
Hmm.
yeah, I remember at the Rammstein concert, I guess, I don't know, maybe it was in Germany or what, somewhere in Europe, and they have a big announcement like no film photography, no, they also, I mean, they don't take your phone away. I mean, this
Yeah,
was also, I think, 2019 time or something. But yeah, and then the moment that thing went out, I was like, okay, no phones. And then the guy next to me was just like, we're phone up, like recorded like the whole thing. I was like, okay,
yeah,
so announcements don't mean anything. And I think that's why
yeah,
he made that decision to take the phones away, like to actually physically, put the phones in the bag. I'm sure it's a huge expense. It's a big pain in the ass. It does make lines longer. And there's
yeah,
so much logistics that goes into that decision to ban the phones. But man, it's just so freaking cool. It's such a cool
yeah,
experience for all of us in those rooms together. It's so unforgettable.
yeah. And I mean, even I know a lot of people were like using Meta glasses requested to record and stuff, and they were trying to say, well, it wasn't in the way of anybody, blah blah blah, but you're still breaking the rules. And I
Yeah.
saw recently something where they specified even meta glasses
Yeah,
are
yeah,
not
yeah.
allowed.
Yeah, Richie, our security guard, like went after a guy with the meta glasses. He was like, "Oh, get that motherfucker!" And like, because it has the blinking light. I have meta glasses, okay, so I
Yeah,
know the deal. And yeah, you cannot. It's a privacy thing. You cannot be filming video without the light on, because
yeah.
this is about respecting, the people around you, whatever. Like to not be sneaky. And the light was going. He was like, I got him and I took those glasses, basically threatened him, like, I'm going to break your glasses or take them away from you unless you act right, and he
Yeah.
gave the glasses back to him, but he gave him a bit of a shakedown. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
don't
I don't
do
get it.
it. Just don't do it. Just enjoy the show. Like, just let yourself
Yeah.
be immersed in it. Like, you don't have to have a second agenda. It's like nice to not have to think about it. Like, oh my God, I should pull it out for this song. Like,
I'm just a
ah,
photography person. I like taking pictures in general. And
hmm.
sometimes when I was watching the show, I would see like a pose from someone and be like, oh, that would have been a good picture. Too bad.
Yeah, I
I have
know.
the
It's
photography
yeah,
mind, so sometimes I see
I
stuff and I'm like, oh,
know.
that would be a good picture.
Well, we have Ryan Chang though, and he's pretty
Yes,
freaking good at his job. So,
yes, he's definitely really good at what he does, and I loved
yeah,
seeing the pictures that he posted,
me
and
too. Me too.
I like that the ghouls got a lot of pictures as well.
And it's also nice that we have the video cameras now. Like I feel like
hmm
us in the back are getting a little bit more
Yeah,
visibility because it was, it's been, it's just, it's part of the gig. Like it's not about you. Like you really have to leave your ego at the door. And it's like, yeah, you're not one of the guitar ghouls right up in people's faces. You're not
yeah,
Papa. Like you're not, so for the keyboard department, we're kind of, yeah, we're set back. I mean, even the drums are further, front of stage than we are. Like we're really, sometimes it feels like you're in a black hole back there. And
I feel like
yeah.
you're
And
closer though than in Para, 'cause I feel like in Para you guys couldn't see the keyboardist whatsoever. I felt like
mm,
back then you were like behind the drummer, and then now you're kind of like beside him, so you can see
Oh, that's
more.
good.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I feel like it's a similar setup, but yeah, I think with having the video screens
that helps.
live and there's more cameras on stage placed around, like I think there's a camera that's on the keyboard, one of my synthesizers when I take like the Umbra solo, I think they're
hmm
able to do some close-ups of that and yeah, and so that's kind of nice. You get some visibility with, yeah, getting to show some of the details because there's so many fun
Yeah.
things that are happening, like at the back of the stage that are also kind of fun. You're not just all guitar solos.
Yes. And I have to say, I stole something from you during Square Hammer. I did the hammer and the nails gesture when
Hammer
I
in
was
the
in the
nails. Oh
crowd.
my gosh, it's so stupid.
And I also did some of the crying.
I know. It's fun. Yeah, you have to, I mean, if you're hands free, you got to do something with your hands, right?
Yes.
There's so much like fist bumping and like, yeah, it's like, and again, Alice, like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but like the hooping really unlocked my body, because it's
Yeah.
like a classical pianist. Like I was never, let's say, super expressive mover or a dancer and
Yeah.
like hooping, like the fact that I'm lifting the hoop and carrying it down and like it taught me to move, to gain a lot of confidence and movement and like extension with my body through the tool of hoop that really translates to stage because you do have to be
Yeah.
bigger than life, right? You do need to use big gestures and kind of be larger than life when you're up there and like work your bat wings and like things like
Yes.
that, you know?
I have bat wings for my cosplay, and you probably saw the
Oh,
pictures
good.
I posted over the weekend. And I took pictures. I was like extending my arm to have my
Extending
bat
the
wing out.
arm. Get your wing out. That's awesome. So
Um,
fun. I do love our costumes. I think this
yes,
era, Skeletor era, is
it's
just
my
like the
favorite one,
best.
I'd
Me
say.
too. I love it.
Yeah,
I love the look.
it's so cool and
Yeah.
sparkly.
Yeah.
To close out, though, I
Hmm.
wanted to ask you, and if you can share, what is in store in the world of Laura Scarborough?
In the world of Laura Scarborough for 2026
Yes.
or
Like, what
okay,
is
for
the
next year?
plan for you, like music wise?
Oh.
And we obviously know you're gonna be on tour, but like, for you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a great question. I'm just writing so much music, Alice. I've got so much music in the cooker, as I call it. You know, it's basically things that are in development. The next, well, one thing that I'm looking into and I'm discussing with some different producers is I want to do a Stay Wild remix. And this will
Ooh,
be maybe more of an electro kind of dance remix. This is very
okay.
fresh. Like I just got the stems and I'm looking for producers that are interested, you know, and maybe if someone hears this, you know, I'm open-minded, you know, to remix ideas for Stay Wild. So that's something I'm definitely wanting to do. Um, the next release is actually going to be an instrumental piano version, piano, not version of Stay Wild, but something completely kind of left field, something different, but a part of my makeup, which is like instrumental, kind of moody piano music.
Hmm.
It's a track called Window, and it's just going to be a cool little instrumental like thing that uses accordion, vibraphone, piano, and like some flutes and stuff. And I think it's just kind of vibey. Then the next one after Window is going to be a release called Holiday. Like this is all fresh news for you, which will probably hopefully drop in the spring, which is a more like bossa nova, kind of a fun, like a more kind of happy, still very psychedelic,
Hmm.
kind of fun track called Holiday. So those are sort of the next plans for the next like maybe 4 months or so, 4 or 5 months. And then the other stuff, what I'm wanting to do next year, because things are going to open up a bit with the schedule, is I'm wanting to offer a course for helping people work on home recording and piano creativity. So it's
Hmm.
like kind of an entrance into learning Ableton Live, how to record themselves, how to make kind of loop-based music, and a little bit of like chord progression ideas and just like really help support people to launch them creatively.
Hmm.
So this is a course I've been working on. It's been like in my brain for a long time, like, and I want to drop that, I think in April. And it'll be like an 8 week intensive. So it'll be kind of where we dive in, and I'll provide some one-on-one support in that. We'll be doing group lessons and then have a like maybe 3 guests, industry experts, just kind of support us on the journey with that. So that's also coming. And maybe I do a spring and a fall version of that. And then, yeah, and just like more music, which I'm excited about. So,
Me too, because
yay.
I like what you do, obviously, and
Thank
I like
you.
that it is a lot more mellow than,
Hmm.
for example, we'll use Dylan as an example where a lot of her newer stuff is more like upbeat and
Yeah.
rock and roll in your face, whereas
Theatrical.
yours
Yeah.
is kind of like it's a journey. That's the best way to put it. Like
Yeah.
it's a
Thank
journey.
you. It is a journey. And I am a dark heart, you know, like I love melancholic music. I like the
Yeah.
darker tones. My first email address was like minor keys at Gmail, or well, back then it was like AOL or something, like Yahoo or something. But minor keys, you know, it was just like I lean towards the melancholy, but like the tinge, the beauty, the flower
Yeah.
that will grow, you know, from what's broken, you know. Yeah, the bittersweet. I love that
Yes,
kind of stuff.
definitely.
Yeah.
So for those who may not know, where can they find your music and where can they find you on social
Yeah,
media?
I'm on the socials. Yeah, just Google Laura Scarborough. You can find me. I'm out there, you know,
Yeah.
Bandcamp, laurascarborough.bandcamp. My website, not super active, but I will be posting information about my future teaching course that I'll be offering next year on there, and a little like a sign, like a waiting list. I do have a waiting list going on a link from my YouTube live stream that I did, but I'm going to get that a little more visible out there. And yeah, on YouTube, Stay Wild is almost to 1,000 views. I would love to
Yay!
be able to push it to 1,000. So if you haven't watched the video, please like comment, like help the owl go on YouTube, because it would be nice to
Yes.
yeah. I'm just amazed, like yeah, that it's not even been a week yet, and that there's almost, you know, like 800 views. That means a lot to me, because that's a lot
Yeah.
to me.
It is.
So
It
yeah.
yeah. For
So
someone who puts all the hard work in, it definitely is
it
good
means
to
a
see
lot.
that.
Yeah, because that video is funny. It's super hacky. I made it myself with royalty-free clips and a little bit of like selfie cam with the iPhone and just did my best with what I had. But I still think like if you focus on the storytelling element of stuff and just use your own creativity, like you don't need to have a big budget
Yeah.
or like always hire people for things. Like you can make a lot of stuff yourself and you learn a lot through that process. So it's worth the journey to to do it yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
And it's
thank you
also
for
nice to
stopping
hire
by
experts, of
today.
course.
Yes, thank you for
Thank,
stopping by
of
today.
course. Good luck with the podcast, and make
Yes,
sure you like and subscribe and
I'll be.
comment and give some love to this.
Yeah, because I want to bring more cool people, and I need people to see it so that the more cool people will want to come.
Okay, awesome.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks for this, and have a great day where you
Yeah.
are.